Thank you, Sverre, Chair. I'm pleased to be here and to introduce recent analysis of shipping in the Arctic Polar Cold area, analysis performed by PAIM in 2020. As you or many of you are no doubt aware of, PAIM operates a detailed database on shipping activities in the Arctic, which Sverre just referred to, called ASTD, or Arctic Ship Traffic Data, which was developed to collect and distribute accurate and reliable data on shipping activities in the Arctic. This is where we get our data for analysis from. The system was launched in February 2019 and currently has many users using the data for many different purposes. I will briefly note how people can get access to the data for analysis, as I'm sure that there are many people interested in the data. ASTD has been developed with financial contributions from the ASTD participants, which are 7 of the 8 Arctic states. They also provide yearly contributions for the running and maintenance of ASTD. These countries, as well as the Arctic Council permanent participants and Arctic Council working groups, are therefore eligible for free access to ASTD and its data. This includes governmental agencies and others. However, ASTD also provides data for a wider audience, including the Arctic Council observers, as well as any professional institution that has a demonstrated public commitment to the protection, conservation, and sustainable use of the Arctic environment. For those bodies, a small fee is required for access. Certain requirements are also for the use of the data, including that it is only to be used for non-commercial purposes. I want to encourage eligible applicants to go to the ASTD website, astd.is, and look at how you apply and see if you are eligible for access. And if you're interested, the website contains more information as well. But now to the analysis itself. This presentation is based on 2 reports produced by PAIM in 2020. They are from PAIM's project Arctic Shipping Status Reports. The project intends to use PAIM's ASTD database to produce regular reports on shipping activities in the Arctic. The first one was launched in March 2020 and was on the increase in Arctic shipping in general. And the second one focused on fuels used by ships, specifically on heavy fuel oil, and was launched just a few weeks ago in October. Both the reports are available on the PAIM website, and all of the reports are reviewed by subject matter experts within PAIM's shipping expert group. And I want to specifically thank all those involved, in particular the input from the IMO on the recent input for the report on HFO in the Arctic. Of course, the report focuses on the Arctic Polar Cold area, as you are aware of, and all the data is for this area only in these particular reports. The first task that we looked to was to see the increase of ships operating in the Polar Cold area. These numbers show the increase of unique ships, where each ship is only counted once, although they could enter the area a number of times. This number grew of 25% in 6 years, from 2013 to 2019. As I said, the unique ship count refers to each ship being counted only once. However, some ships enter the area multiple times, and I wanted to show you one example of those. These are numbers from one of PAIM's current projects, which is on tourism vessels in the Arctic, where we compiled data on statistics for cruise ships, passenger vessels, and yachts in the Polar Cold area. These numbers are from 2019. That analysis showed that out of the 104 tourism vessels, almost 70% operated in 1 month or more, and 11% operated in 6 months or more in the Polar Cold area. So many of the ships are frequent visitors of the area. When looking at what ship types operate in the Polar Cold area, fishing vessels are by far the most frequent ships, consisting of over 40% of all the vessels in the area. ASTD also calculates the distance sailed by vessels. Here we are comparing the whole year in the Polar Cold area by all vessels from 2013 to 2019. You can see a steady increase each year, and between 2013 and 2019, there is a 75% increase in 6 years in the distance sailed. Again, fishing vessels account for almost half of the distance sailed. The next report I wanted to tell you about focuses on fuel. And for the heavy fuel part, the term HFO refers to oils that have characteristics specified in paragraph 1.2 of Regulation 43 of MARPOL, Annex 1. So what we generally call the IMO definition. Here you can see the distribution of 6 fuel categories. This actually only shows a few of them, as we have not shown LNG tankers and battery-powered ships in this graph, as there were so few of them. Only one of those residual fuels that we are showing is HFO, which is the yellow box. We have 3 residual fuel categories, but as you can see from the blue pie section, distillate fuels were by far the most frequent used fuel in the Arctic. Over 60% of the ships use distillate fuels. There were 165 vessels using HFO in the Arctic in 2019. A big chunk of those are bulk carriers, as you can see from that chart, and a number of passenger ships as well. Now I want to turn my attention to consumption of fuel. And one interesting note from our analysis showed that fuel consumption grew 82% between 2016 and 2019. Both years had a similar number of unique ships, but still the fuel consumption was much higher in 2019. The reason is one big difference, and that was the absence of LNG tankers in 2016. As you see on the map, there were no LNG tankers in the polar coast area in 2016, but in 2019, several tankers operated in the area. The LNG tankers are the biggest contributor to fuel consumption, and in 2019, they consumed almost 30% of the fuel of all ships in the Arctic. And the reason for the increased traffic in 2019 is the Yamal mega project, which started after 2016. The map on the left there shows LNG tankers going to and from Yamal in 2019. Concerning next steps, as of 2020, a new era of marine fuels is emerging, including in the Arctic. The reasons for this include new IMO regulations. As of 1st of January 2020, the allowable amount of sulfur contents in fuel was reduced to 0.5%. And this will, of course, affect the type of fuels and fuel blends used by ships and also in the Arctic. New fuel blends have been and continue to be developed to meet this regulation, and some of these will fall into the MARPOL Annex 1 Regulation 43 of HFO, and some may not. But there are also other steps in this new area of ship fuels, including the proposed HFO ban and the reduction of greenhouse gas emissions. Therefore, there is presently a knowledge gap as to what types of fuels are combusted in the Arctic. We simply cannot be certain to which fuels ships in the Arctic are using as of 2020. PAIM is currently addressing this gap, as we have a joint project with the Arctic Council's EPPR working group in a new project led by Norway. The project is currently analyzing fuels used in the Arctic and also the behavior of low sulfur fuels, which are designed to comply with the IMO's 2020 fuel sulfur limit, and how these fuels behave in cold Arctic waters. So that's it for me. Again, the reports I presented on are available on the PAIM website. And with that, I say thank you very much.